Hey Warren, how you doing?
Hello there. How's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
I'll be on shortly. I got stuck in traffic. I'm about 5 minutes from home.
All right. Renee, I don't know if we want to reach out to, since there's only 3 of us, looks like on the call so far. If we want to reach out to the other members, I can reach out. I only have a couple. I don't know if you want to do that just to make it, ask them to remind them, a gently nudge. All right, so it says we have 4. So we have myself, we have Patricia, Fazia.
Hi.
Yeah, we got you. Okay, I see 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dwight, is that you calling in on the cell phone, the 909 number?
That is I. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Perfect. All right, so that gives us 5, and I believe Mr. Vol will be joining us. We'll give him 1 more minute, and then we will get started in for everybody's time. And then if somebody maybe wants to, Renee, or maybe reach out to Ms. Petty and see if she will be able to join us.
I'm here. I just don't know how to get my picture up there.
There's a spot along the bottom that says video, either start video or stop video. It's got like a red line going through it. And if you see that camera and it's got a red line,
Yeah. Okay.
then that's why we can't see you.
That's okay.
Oh, and there's Eva. Hello, Miss Betty. You know your name, Ms. Petty, is 472001. Have you been incarcerated lately, and is that your new number, your new identifier?
So that can't just be a different other type of number. It's got to be incarcerated. What you know about me, Warren?
I'm just saying, if I heard a
something.
number, I would say that about myself. So
Yes. No, I punched this in, and I think it would have said RCC. I'm not sure, but here I am, Eva Petty.
all right. Well, I think that that gives us 6. We will not wait. Hopefully, Mr. Ball will join us. And so in the interest of time, we will go ahead and get things rolling. Are we good on live and stream? We're all good to get going? Yes?
Yeah.
All right. So with that, I do not have I'm not in my home office with the flag behind me. So find a picture or a flag in your office or in your room, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which this stands,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you, everybody. All right, so first thing is giving the chance for the public to join in if they want to add a public comment. I don't believe we received any ahead of time, but if members of the public are watching and you would like to submit a public comment, you can do that by visiting the CBOC page on the RCCD website and complete the virtual comments request form. I believe, and maybe I'm misspeaking, but Renee, you can, or Rebecca, I believe there's a way if you're watching the YouTube, you can make a comment saying that you'd like to, message and saying you'd like to make a public comment, and then we can send you the link into the Zoom. So if you are a member of the public and you'd like to make a comment, you can do one of those 2 ways. While we're giving the chance for the public to call in or to indicate they'd like to speak, I'll just kind of give a couple real quick comments as from the chair's point of view. First of all, I had the opportunity to speak to the Board of Trustees probably about a month or so ago, maybe not that long, and present our annual report to the board and staff. And I just wanted to pass along a message from the board president, Mary Figueroa, as well as Trustee Blumenthal. They just wanted me to pass along their sincere thank you to the members of the CBOC committee for your time and your effort and all that we do for the bond. So they just wanted me to pass along their sincere thank you for the time that we put in. So on behalf of the board, thank you to everyone for the efforts that you put in throughout the year. The other thing I wanted to point out for members of the committee, as well as for any public watching, we do have openings coming up for all of us almost. Everyone, I think, for Ms. Delgadillo is almost up, believe it or not, on our first term. We have one opening in December. The first term will end in December of 2019 or December 21. And then everyone else is up in May. Our first term is up in May of 2021. So Ms. Delgadillo, since you're new, you still have a while to go. You do not have to re-up, but if any members of the committee would like to reapply, this is your chance to start the process now. To reapply, the application is on the RCCD website for members of the public who would like to join the CBOC. There is an application to be found on the CBOC page of the RCCD website. It is a 2-year term, so any members of the current committee, I think we're all first timers, we can reapply and members of the public are also welcome and encouraged to apply as well. So, so there we go. That's the comments I have. Hopefully we've given enough time. Renee or anyone else, has anyone indicated from the public that they would like to join our meeting and offer a public comment? All right, hearing none. If I have gone too fast or if anybody joins in, please let me know. But seeing no public comment, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the approval of the minutes from July 8th, 2021. Anybody have a comment, changes, or I'll entertain a motion to approve such minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
All right, Ms. Rizvi, a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second it. Oh,
I believe that was Ms. Reynolds. Beat you to the punch, Ms. Petty. So we have a motion and a second. Rather than doing a roll call vote, I will just call for all those in favor. Please indicate by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed? And any abstentions? All right, then we have a unanimous approval of the minutes. Oh, we need to take attendance. Sorry for the record. So just got that message. So we'll run down a roll call attendance wise. Miss Delgadillo.
Here.
Present. Miss Petty.
Here.
Miss Reynolds.
Here.
Ms. Rizvi.
Good afternoon. I'm here.
All right. Mr. Tate
Here.
and Mr. Vall.
Here.
All right. We have the whole group here, and all on that last vote voted aye. All right. Moving on to the next item of the agenda, we have our Measure C financial update. Number A, or letter A, would be the project commitment summary report. And who from staff will be joining us today?
Thank you, Chair Avery. The project commitment summary report from July through September 30th will be presented by Misty Griffin, Accounting Services Manager. Go ahead, Misty.
Good afternoon, everybody. Before you is the project commitment summary report. This is a financial report with a summary of activities as of September 2021. The highlighted sections reflect financial transaction changes as reported in the last meeting. There's a reduction in cash of about $3 million that is related to expenditures for the Student Services Welcome Center for the Marina Valley College and the Physical and Life Science Secondary Effects Project at the Riverside City College. The interest income is lower by approximately $70,000, which is due to what was actually realized coming in lower than what was anticipated. The project commitments and proposed projects is up by approximately $278,000. And this is due to the Logic Domain project being funded for an additional 2 years for about $25,000. This is our software we use. Oh, you're still on the same page, or you can still, yep. Oh, well. This is our software that's used to track our projects, and also due to our staffing adjustments in the amount of about $252,000. This boils down to the contingency being reduced by approximately $348,000, and this is due to all the things I just mentioned above.
All right. And so,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
oh, no, go ahead, please. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, could you please go down to page 22, but I might be jumping the gun. That's for the CPES.
I just wanted to say that the contingency amount, the $3 million, that was, obviously we have money set aside for contingencies that come up, but this was planned for those two items. Are we, that was well within the budget? I mean, I know you said they were for those buildings. Anything particular, or was that just construction cost, pricing changes? What was that for?
So the contingent, you're talking about the 2.7 contingency?
Yeah.
That's the amount that has not been actualized at this point.
Okay.
So the project commitment summary report shows what has been committed by the board on existing programs. I'm sorry, projects. And so there still is about $2.7 million left
Okay.
to be allocated. it could be to augment existing projects, or it could be to pay for new projects coming up.
No, I apologize. I misunderstood that. So, all right. Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any other questions about the commitment summary? Okay. Sorry, Ms. Griffin.
Okay, here we are on the Capital Program Executive Summary Report. This report reflects budget changes for the period of July through September of 2021. There are no board-approved Measure C project budget changes to this report. However, there are 2 changes to non-Measure C funding. One of them is the $2.7 million in state funding that was added to Norco College's Center for Human Performance and Kinesiology. And the other is the $32 million in state funding that was added for RCC's Life Science Physical Science Reconstruction Project. Are there any
But that had no
questions?
effect on the money, the bond money. That was just additional funding. Okay,
Mhm.
great. Okay.
And that's it.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Griffin. Any questions or comments from the committee members?
So there was no change in the budget in this one?
In the Measure C approved budget, no changes in this one.
Okay. Okay.
Any
The
questions?
only time it'll change would be if the board approves any kind of action to either augment an existing program or to approve a new Measure C program.
Okay. Thank you.
And so the 2.7 is what's left to allocate. Everything else is allocated and for a specific project, which we go through. And then the budget here, there's no change because the board is not allocating any additional money or taking away any money. And that's the difference here. Correct? Okay. Any other comments or questions from committee members?
Nope.
All right, then I guess then we move on to the Measure C projects update report.
So these are reports, I'm sorry, that will be presented by Hussein Agha, our Associate Vice Chancellor of Facilities Planning and Development. So Hussein, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Erin. Good afternoon, everyone. We have 3 reports filed during this period. The first one is really the CEQA report, which is California Environmental report that was filed for Ben Clark Training Center Phase 1 project that belongs to Marina Valley College. So this report really approving the CEQA plan that was adopted by the board on August 17 and approved by the County of Riverside. The next report, you can find it page 966, Renee. So this report really approving the inspection services agreement with Nolan Construction Services in the total amount of $180 for Ben Clark Training Center Phase 1 project. So approving the contract for inspection to that particular project. The last one, you can go to page 984. This board report really approving the MTGL special inspection and material testing services contract for Ben Clark Training Center Phase 1 in the total amount of $122,845. With that, it really concludes the board report that were filed during this period from July through September.
Great, thank you, Mr. Agad. Any comments or questions from committee members?
No.
All right, see no questions. Thank you very much, Mr. Agad.
Thank you.
And then now we have the Measure C project summary status update.
And I will provide update on this one as well. So the first one for Riverside City College is the ongoing project, which is the life science, physical science reconstruction for business, education, and CIS. The project is currently at the Division of State Architect for review. It was submitted in July, and we really anticipate the approval by end of January next year. So as soon as we get it from DSA, we will bid it, we will submit to the State Chancellor Office for approval and then bid it out for construction next fiscal year. For Marina Valley College, we have 4 active projects. Well, the first one is the new Welcome Center. This project achieved substantial completion as of August and turned over to the campus and has been really occupied for the fall. A beautiful building. I'm not sure if some of you have seen it yet. We are also working on the grand opening by this year, and we'll communicate it to the entire community. The next project is the student services renovation at Marina Valley College. This project is currently under design, and we anticipate the design completion by January next year. Betty Clark Training Center Phase 1, the project start construction last month. We had a ground opening last week. And the project currently in the construction phase, and we anticipate construction is going to take about a year. So by next fall, it will be open and occupied. The last project for Marina Valley is the fire alarm upgrade. This project is currently under design, final touches and inspections, and will be done by end of the year. For Norco College, we had only one project, which was the soccer field artificial turf replacement. The project achieved substantial completion last month, and notice of completion has been filed. So this project will be removed for next period because it's already been done. That concludes the report update.
Great. Any questions or comments from committee members for Mr. Agat?
No.
No.
Okay, well then, Mr. Gott, thank you for your time and for the report. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, moving right along. Business from committee members is where we are at. The first item on there are the chair and vice chair terms. We realized that it was about a year ago that Ms. Petty and I were elected in our roles as chair and vice chair. And in asking some questions, we realized that there is no, there was never a term set in the bylaws or anything else. So I thought it was only appropriate to put it back out to the group today to discuss. I'm happy to keep going, but I don't want to speak for Ms. Petty. Or if we would like to do a new vote. The thought is, and what I'd like to propose and why we made it a discussion item, is to take a formal action to say that the term of the chair and the vice chair runs on a calendar year from January 1 to January 1. We would do an election amongst the committee members here in our last meeting of the quarter, which would be this one here. And then that chair and vice chair would serve for the following calendar year. All of us with our terms currently, and if we were to stay on, that would work for term-wise and everything else. So that is my thought. I'd like to open that up to any questions or comments from the committee members on making it official that the terms of the chair and the vice chair will run from January 1 to December 31st on a calendar year. Any thoughts, questions?
This is Dwight. I have two thoughts. One is if you need two separate motions, certainly the terms, 1 year terms, calendar year terms is fine. And my second motion, if you want motions, is that I would like to recommend that the current officers remain for the following year.
All right, appreciate that. So there's a motion there's two motions that Mr. Tate made. We can get a second, and there still can be plenty of discussion. The first motion that Mr. Tate made was to move that the chair and the vice chair have terms of January 1st to December 31st on a calendar year. Just to confirm, that's correct, Mr. Tate? That was your first motion?
That's correct.
All right. Is there a second for that motion?
I'll second that. This is Patricia Reynolds.
All right, Ms. Reynolds seconded it. So we'll open that up. So we'll do them two separate things. So any discussion on that motion to make the chair and the vice chair terms calendar year January 1 to December 31st?
Is there any way we could write those into the bylaws or get those more formalized? It seems like 1 year is a very short term when we only meet quarterly. I'm wondering if there shouldn't be 2-year terms and maybe stagger them, because you don't want the chair, to have to leave. Because I'm not sure it's an automatic vice chair becomes chair, or they have to be voted on separate issues, but it just seems like we need to formalize it some way.
Yeah, we can absolutely put it to the bylaws. I think, just any change to the bylaws, then we have to go back to the board and have them approve it, which I doubt that I don't want to speak for them at all. And if we want to do that, I have no problem working with staff to make that change and figure out where to put it in the bylaws. Right. and make that presentation. So we can absolutely do that and move forward on that side of it. Good discussion point on making the term longer than a year, or we can do whatever we want, right? So I mean, there's nothing in the bylaws now that dictates how long or what that process is. If it changes, if the chair automatically leaves and then vice chair, we can do whatever we want. So I'm definitely open to whatever the committee wants to do. Yeah, Mr. Wall.
The only problem with that is your term is 2 years.
That's right.
And you can do 2 of them, right?
That's right.
So if you, so in your 3rd year, if you wanted to run for the president, you really couldn't, because you don't have enough time left.
True. That's a good point.
And if you get elected as one of them in the first term, you decide not to run, okay, now you've got still an unfulfilled term. I would leave it at 1 year, and that's plenty of time, because you're only on this for 4 years. So
that's right. And I personally like the 1 year in case situations change and a person maybe had the time 1 year, and maybe their job, their commitments, things change that they can't serve as the chair for whatever reason, or vice chair. I would tend to think 1 year is good, but I'm obviously this is up for a total discussion. Any other comments, suggestions regarding the motion that is on the floor to make it a 1 year term? Does anybody else have any thoughts?
I'm good with it.
I would just like to see something showing when terms started and ended. So when we are having this conversation, we have something in front of us to know, who might term off in a few months, and because that would be difficult to make them an officer and then to have to change halfway through the year.
Sure. So I know that it is on the website. So like I mentioned at the beginning, Mr. Ball is the one who is terming out in December. His first term is up, and the rest of us are May, except for Ms. Delgadillo. Mm-hmm. So that is our current terms. We're all May, 5 of us. Mr. Ball is December, and Ms. Delgadillo, I think it's June or whatever you came on board this year. I don't remember it doesn't show on the website. I looked before I went on. So
I think it was June.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Ms. Rizvi, you had a comment that you wanted to make?
No, I said I'm good.
Okay.
With a 1 year term.
Okay, so if there are no other comments, the motion on the floor is to make the chair and the vice chair 1 year terms running January 1st to December 31st on a calendar basis. If there is no more discussion or questions or anything from the group, then we'll go ahead and take a vote. And I'll call out on this one. Ms. Delgadillo?
Yes.
Ms. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Ms. Rizvi?
Yes.
Mr. Tate?
Yes.
And Mr. Ball?
yes.
And I will also vote yes, so that is a 7 ayes. to approve that motion. There is another motion on, and Ms. Reynolds, if you would like to make a motion before we go to Mr. Tate's other ones, I don't know if you want to make a motion about making this part of the bylaws and starting that process to make it a part of our official bylaws. You made that comment, so that was not part of Mr. Tate's motion. So if you'd like to move that forward, I'll entertain that if you want to move forward with that.
Yes, I think this needs to be memorialized somewhere so that people understand when things are going to change and when they're going to happen. So I'll make that motion.
All right. Do we have a second for that motion?
I second that motion.
All right. That's Ms. Petty is seconding the motion, and Ms. Reynolds to make this formalized in the bylaws for our committee of the term lengths that was just approved by our committee. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, then we'll do a quick vote. Ms. Delgadillo,
Yes.
Ms. Petty,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Risby,
Yes.
Mr. Tate,
Yes.
Mr. Ball,
Yes.
and I will also vote yes, so that is 7 ayes. So I will work with staff to start that process on adding this to the bylaws, figuring out where to do it and the official wording. All right, and then Mr. Tate had a motion for myself and Ms. Petty to continue on in our roles. Open that up to see if anybody would like to second that, and then we can open up for discussion.
I'll second it.
All right, Ms. Risby, second. Ms. Petty, I should ask you, are you up for keeping your role for the following year?
Absolutely.
Okay.
As I mentioned to you, Warren, I'm going to be a student for a long time. ASL takes a long time to certify.
No, that's, and good for you for going through it. Absolutely. Okay, so we have a motion and a second for myself and Ms. Petty to remain as chair and vice chair for the upcoming year of 2022. And we have a second as well for Ms. Risby. Are there any comments, questions, thoughts, suggestions from the committee members? All right, seeing none, then we will do a vote. Ms. Delgadillo.
Yes.
Ms. Petty.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Risby.
Yes.
Mr. Tate.
Yes.
And Mr. Ball.
Yes.
And I will also vote yes, so that is a 7 ayes. And so thank you very much to the committee members for that. I appreciate it. And we will continue to move up and onward and forward. So thank you. And then there was a note to me that, and we will verify, but Ms. Goldware, Vice Chancellor Goldware, believes that we may be able to serve for 3 terms. So we'll verify that for future. But the fact is, we're all up here pretty soon within the next 6 months. So if any of us would like to keep on going, we all need to reapply for that position. And remember, members of the public can also apply to join. So we have some? Okay. Next on the agenda is the meeting dates for 2022 and 24. Currently, we have been meeting on the second Thursday of the first month of the quarter.
Okay. I'm almost done.
Did you have a comment, Ms. Risby?
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. All right. So I will entertain if everybody's happy with our current schedule of meeting the second Thursday of the first month of the quarter. So that would be what, January, April, July, and October. If everybody is happy with that, I'll entertain a motion to continue those dates. And we're going to go in and do it for 22, 23, and 24. And if we need to make those changes anytime, but we'll go ahead and just get this all booked out on the calendar for the next 3 years. And if we need to make any changes along the way, we can, like we did earlier this year. So anybody want to make a motion?
I'll
So
make the
moved.
All right, I heard Ms. Risby first. Ms. Delgadillo, I'll give you the second, if that's all right. So,
All right.
all right, so moved by Ms. Risby, seconded by Ms. Delgadillo to make our CBOC meetings for the years 22, 23, 24 the second Thursday of the first month of the calendar quarter. Any discussion? All right, then we will do a vote. Ms. Delgadillo,
Yes.
Ms. Petty,
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds,
Yes.
Ms. Risby.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Tate
Yes.
and Mr. Ball.
Yes.
Excellent. And I will also vote yes. So mark that in your calendars for the next 3 years. You know where you will be at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the second Thursday of the month, of the first month of the quarter. All right. And then just as a Ms. Delgadillo was approved by the board to serve in March of this year, as I was told.
March, okay.
So March of 2022 is when your first term will be up there, Ms. Delgadillo.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Absolutely. There's nothing on the agenda. So anything that anybody would like to place on the next agenda, which will be in January? Anything anybody wants to put in there now? All right. I don't see any. So with no other comments and no other things, then since this is the last meeting of the quarter, I will wish everybody happy holidays. Can't believe I'm saying that, but just we won't see each other until after the holidays. Happy holidays to everybody, and Happy New Year. And we will see everybody in January. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.